Up next is Claire Lewis from North Luangwa. She'll be talking about the complexities of in a 22,000 square kilometer reserve using EarthRanger, Smart and Tableau for all of their efforts. So.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Claire Lewis. I'm the project manager for the North Luangwa Conservation Programme in Zambia. I feel as though I've got a little bit of imposter syndrome here. There's plenty of people here that know much more about EarthRanger, Tableau and Smart in this room. So I'm just the messenger, don't shoot me. So I will try to explain how we are bringing together these three pieces of technology across such a vast landscape. So to introduce the landscape, North Luangwa National Park is the centre of the area that we look after as part of the conservation programme, and we're also involved in the 4 game management areas surrounding that, either in their entirety or partially. The map's showing lots of black little houses. Those are the National Parks and Wildlife base camps that we support over that area. Running to the east of the park is the Luangwa River, and to the west of the park is the Machinga Escarpment. It covers 22,000 square kilometres, which is about the size of New Hampshire in America or Wales in the UK. So it is, and I know Northern Raisins Trust, Kafui, there's a few that are of similar kind of size or bigger. We have very little connectivity. We've got minimum roads. We've got quite interesting terrain. Kev Marriott's here. He's had a go at setting up our digital radio system with multiple black spots. And even though quite a lot of it is flat, we've got in a valley, we've also got some interesting terrain to cope with. And our annual budget is about $4.5 million a year, and that covers all of our outreach as well as all of our law enforcement side of things as well. So in that, we have about 360 active law enforcement officers. That's including gates, sentries, control and command. We've got 1 central control and command centre. Rhino Monitoring, Andrea was mentioning about Rhino Monitoring. For us, the Rhino Monitoring was equally as successful and equally as limited. We tried various different bits and pieces. We've stuck to tags, VHF, sorry. We have had some Sigfox tags, like the LoRa tags, but unfortunately not working as well as we'd like. But the data and the information coming out of those was off the charts and so interesting. So more technology along those kinds of lines would be really helpful. We're using technology with our K9 units, mobile apps for training and operations. We're putting out over 100 patrols a month on various different operations, all of the above as mentioned. We've got 2 aircraft, we've got more than 30 vehicles. We've got about 100 vehicles in our fleet, but 30 of those are operational anti-poaching vehicles. We're also monitoring human-wildlife interactions, and we've also got safari hunting going on in the areas outside of the national park. So what we're trying to do is sort of monitor all of these bits and pieces and be most effective and spend that money as best we can. As everybody has spoken about, there's lots of data and information coming in. We're a very small footprint. We're quite a lean machine, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got multiple 60 base stations, 140 radios, digital, GPS enabled, some of them. We're using Garmin InReach for our rhino and elephant protection unit that are centrally based inside the national park. We've got the spider tracks on the 2 aircraft. As I said, the Sigfox devices, we're also using those on vehicle tracking and also on gate opening and closing, and also on our rhino conservation area fence. We've got some elephant collars, we've also got the firmware, and then of perhaps most significance for this talk is the smart data that we are using EarthRanger as a complement to. This is a picture of our control center. There's one building within the middle of that, which is actually our radio control room. The rest of it is garage, digs, armory, hangars, and the rhino bombers. But what I'm trying to illustrate here is, although we are quite disconnected over this vast area, everything comes into that room on as best real time as we can achieve. EarthRanger is providing that immediate visual oversight with all the technology, but then everything else is radio through, which is why we have very high voice data traffic, and digital radios are a journey to go down if you've got your eyes open. So we started introducing SMART in 2014. Prior to that, we'd been using pens and papers and charts on walls, and we had an access type database. Then SMART came along, and it was an incredible repository to put all of our information into, so we can, as Ian said earlier today, getting that historical data, getting historical trends, knowing what's going on. In 2017, we were one of the first pilot sites for EarthRanger to provide that live visual tracking of what is going on a day-to-day basis. And by combining the two snapshots of what's happening today with our historical understanding and context, was giving us a much better picture of where we needed to put our assets and resources to be most effective. In 2019, we were able to put that history and that current information together with SMART data pushing into EarthRanger. That's the way we're using it at the moment. So our SMART historical data we can push into, and that's just on incidents currently. Last year, we were introduced to and introduced Tableau, which I'm sure you've seen a few times up on slides now, and I'm going to try and show you a bit of it. Hopefully somebody else can, looking at that front row there, can help out. And in future, there will be web connections between SMART and Tableau, and then the SMART Integrate that was spoken about earlier as well. So we're using these, each one complementing each other. SMART has its own reporting and analysis tools, but we found, as was mentioned just now, that the training was clunky for us for SMART. We didn't have the capacity. We also found that if a report went, we could set them up, pre-set up the reports in SMART, but if one went wrong, a data link had been broken or something, it all went a bit Pete-tong. So we have these reports set up in Tableau, which we've been able to train up our staff very easily, very quickly. They're preset templates. We've now got a much wider group of people able to pull the reports, work with the reports, and receive the reports on a much more regular basis, which is making our EarthRanger and our SMART data extremely valuable. So there's just a really quick, although small, overview of our workflows. Basically, information is all radioed into that central control room. If it's a current incident, then a reaction team will be sent out to sort it out, or it's just a normal everyday stuff going on. And the patrol will continue, and the patrol's ended. So the information is captured into SMART. It is also pushed into EarthRanger, and EarthRanger is then also showing all of these other technologies that we have. And then to do our reporting and analysis, we're using the Tableau. Again, really small, you can't really see, sorry, but Tableau, when you go into it, is a platform. It's an interface, much like SMART actually, but it's a reporting interface, and you end up with various folders within there. We've got one called Resource Protection. The second slide, which has got the map on it, is showing, you can tell it, we refresh it once a week. So that's the timeline we're currently working on, but you could refresh it daily, you could refresh it hourly, whatever you want to do. And we're able to then produce weekly reports. So this will then be representing the weekly reports. And the one at the bottom, which you can see a little bit better, is, well, you can't really see it very well at all, actually. But anyway, there's a thing on the left-hand side, which is showing which SMART queries are being pulled in. So basically, we've told Tableau we want it to read these SMART queries, which it will do so. and it will then display that information in a table. You then have the ability in Tableau to sort that, to muck around with it, to add comments, to do whatever you wish to do. You then export it, save it as a PDF, and email it to all your managers. And we've found it a much quicker and better way to manage our data for our adaptive management. Our managers can see it quickly, they can access it, they can query it, it gets sent around to everybody. And from a training perspective, it's been much quicker for us to be able to train up our staff to be able to do this with little to no supervision anymore, and it's become part of our weekly culture. So again, this was just what a report looks like, but this is just a few sample pages of it. So those maps, you can pull in lots and lots of data. We're not pulling in EarthRanger data into this anymore, so we do have to sit in our planning meetings with EarthRanger on the wall, Tableau reports in front of us, but hopefully that will be working. But yes, having the three interfaces for us has been an incredible tool for us to be able to see what's going on, provide the context for what's happened previously, and for managers to be better informed. This has also helped us to ensure that our data is verified by the people that are actually doing it, rather than other managers coming in and having a sort of top-down approach. So we've really appreciated having all three sets of technology to support us and the way we go forward. And that's it. Thank you.